Hello, and welcome to the Mild and Lazy Guys podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And on today's show, we're just going to get back into the groove of it. We got a run sheet, but I don't know how closely we'll stick to it. So just hang in there with us. We just missed doing it. We got the opportunity, so we're doing it early on a Sunday morning. So before we get started, please, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating, a review. Like us and follow us there. Also on Spotify, do the same thing. It would help us out, and we would appreciate it. So let's get into it. Andrew, what you been up to?
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time, so
Yep.
not much. But we are getting ready for Halloween. Bought some more pumpkins today. I like the simple decorations. We got a skeleton out there. We got a couple spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping it simple. Halloween's my favorite holiday. And this
You and Lauren
neighborhood,
both?
yeah, it's great, man. It's the best. It's like my favorite season. Fall's my favorite season.
This week is gonna be nice. Like tomorrow,
Like weather-wise?
I think tomorrow the high is like 60 something.
One day the low's like
39,
35, which is
yeah.
crazy because it was like 95 last Wednesday.
It was like
And, like, a
90.
week later.
Yeah, it was like 90 yesterday.
Yeah. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, Halloween's coming. Oh, this neighborhood goes all out. So if anyone's
We'll be here.
lives around here, yeah, it's like you can just park your cars on Marvin or Sycamore and just like walk up and down these streets. They go all out.
Yeah, we'll be here.
We're going to try to take Ellie to the fair next week, so it's the last weekend.
Are you gonna take my advice?
What was your advice? Go on a Wednesday?
Like on a Wednesday or Thursday?
No, I think we're just going to go like on a Saturday or Sunday. I thought Sunday's the last day, so I'm like, look, we go on a Sunday. Those people don't give a shit. They're just going to be giving out prizes. They're like, we can't take this with us. That was my thought. Now, maybe they're stingy because it shit costs a lot of money, and they're like, no, you got to win this.
I have no opinion on that because I don't think I've ever been on the last day, but...
Yeah, see, my thought was maybe the last day won't be so bad. That or everyone has my same idea.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just go on the last day.
That would be my fear.
Well, I don't know. I feel bad when you make a promise to a kid.
Oh,
this
you
kid
got to
remembers.
Yeah.
They're going to remember that. Yeah, she's going to be asking us all week.
Because there is a certain age of childhood where you can tell them shit and they're not going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. Ellie's getting to that age, and I went through this with Landry. There, you can't just throw out promises anymore. You got to follow through. So you're absolutely right. You got to take them.
And she's a great age to go right now, too.
Yeah. Oh, she
would
have a
love
blast.
it. So if we can get someone to watch Owen, because we were going to go with Owen. I was like, dude, who wants to take a fucking baby to the fair with all those people? And we went to that Lane pumpkin patch last month, which I wouldn't recommend anyone ever go to a pumpkin patch.
It's a beating, dude.
It was like $50 for all three of us and one cotton candies. $50. And it's just what you pictured. A bunch of white people taking pictures to post on Instagram.
It is truly a beating.
Yeah.
It is not fun.
If I didn't have kids, like, people who don't have kids, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, the only reason I'm here is to appease my wife and because I have two children.
Well, the only reason that the dudes are there is to appease their girlfriends
I
or
guess.
wives.
And they're like the ones
That's the
taking their
answer.
pictures as they like hike their leg up and pose on a tree.
And they're in like their Han Solo get up with the vest and the boots.
Yeah, and they got
tights.
the brimmed hat.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you just walked out of a Starbucks at Target to take that picture.
Yeah.
So wouldn't recommend that, but we got it over with. I got my fantasy basketball draft tonight. Got
Good luck to you,
11th pick. Yep, we're gonna see what happens. We're in a pretty good league of dudes. I know about 4 of them. The rest are complete strangers, but they interact really well.
That's
so
cool.
it's like a pretty solid group. And one thing I wanted to talk about, one thing that's been grinding my gears,
Go ahead.
and that is schools now are soliciting via text message. So I got this text message from I won't name the school, so we'll call it like Samson Elementary. And I keep getting these texts, and it'll have a picture of my niece that goes there, and it'll say like, Uncle Drew, like, and it's like this long paragraph, and I'm like, okay, what do they want? They just want you to give money. I'm not getting nothing out of it. I'm not getting like a box of cookies, or, you know, like when we were kids, you would sell stuff.
Yeah.
You would sell those world finest candy bars.
Yeah.
No, they're just straight up asking for money now. And I'm like, dude, you're using a child's image to solicit me through my phone right now. Like, how is this legal?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're a state-funded school. You're a brand new school. Like, you get money from the state. And if you need more money, like, ask the governor. Why you got to ask me? My kid doesn't even go there. And Claire was, like, feeling guilty. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, principal, we're not going to do it. I was like, I got kids in another school. I'll give to that school. Why am I going to give to this school? I have no affiliate. Well, I guess I do have quite a bit of affiliation with that school. But, yeah, and they kept sending me message after message. They gave me, like, 4. And I sent them that Randy Jackson that, you know, it's going to be a no for me, dog. And then I deleted the number. And then they just text me back, like, the next day. And then My sister. So we finally. Claire fucking donated to him, man. I was so pissed. I was like, that was my hill to die on that night. Like, we got into an argument about why we shouldn't give this school any money. But what my sister did, and it was a real bitch move, Alicia. She posted a list of like, thanks to all these people, and we're like listing all the people that gave money. And Claire's like, yeah, we're noticeably not on that list. I was like, I feel like she's like calling us out. I was like, fuck her. I was like, she can give money and say it's from us. Like, we're not going to do it. But yeah, Claire went behind my back and donated to that school. So those persistent assholes got what they wanted. Yeah, I was like, or can we at least get a world's finest candy bar out of this? Like, it's a give and take, right? I give you something, I get something back. That's how it should be. Me just straight giving you money, I'm not going to do it.
So
that's my like grumpy old man rant. I've been holding in on this for like a week because it's been really pissing me off.
So
because that's going to be the thing going forward.
Landry's school does that too, and
it's illegal, dude.
Lauren collected email addresses and phone numbers and did that.
So she's part of the problem.
She's part of the problem.
Oh my god!
But she's just playing the game because for the kids,
it's not a game. This is real life.
If they get so many people to donate, they get, I forget what Landry's was. Like he got to go, like maybe have a pizza party in the lunchroom if they're like the top earners. Like,
so it sounds like a business.
Yeah.
Sounds like a business.
Yeah.
You get a pizza party for being top earner.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or something like that. So.
Okay, well, this didn't stipulate any of that. This just basically said, give us money for nothing. Like, my niece wasn't going to get anything out of it. It was just straight, give us money. And the fact that they used her picture, like, you could tell they brought every kid out, took their picture, and then they got like I was like, how did this school even get my number in the first place? That's also I want to know.
Oh, your sister?
They're fucking cunt.
Put it on it submitted it.
Well, my sister works at that school too, so
oh, there you
I was
go.
like, that's another reason I don't want to. I was like, my sister already contributes to that school by working there.
Yeah.
Why do you need money from me?
Yeah, like we go as far as like we had a parent teacher conference for Landry a couple weeks ago, and let me brag. The teacher's like, I'm not saying this just to say this. He's probably one of my best kids. Anytime I ask him something, it's yes ma'am, no ma'am. He's reading at this level, blah blah blah. He's at math at this level, blah blah blah. And I was like, are you sure you have the right kid? Are you the right fucking?
There's two Landrys in this school.
This fucking kid. And she's like, no, he's like one of my best kids. He got a report card, like 89 was his lowest grade. So let me brag on my kid a little bit. But we go as far as like asking the teacher, hey, do you need any snacks? Because they do snack time in first grade.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, hey, do you need any snacks? We'll buy snacks and bring them to the class.
But that's y'all's school.
Right, that's our kid's
What if
class.
I sent you a text with my kid asking for money from Marvin?
Maybe Ellie, too. Yeah, I'd do it for Ellie.
Don't do it, man.
From random kid at, like, ABC Elementary across the town?
Right?
Probably not.
Okay, and I shouldn't say, because that's not a random kid. It is my niece. But I was like, fuck that, dude. That's a new school. They got tons of public funding.
But, yeah, so, like, we did it for his kindergarten teacher. Because, I've got educators in my family, so I know how much work they do for the pay they get, and a lot of time they're buying supplies out of their own money, blah, blah, blah.
We give for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm down for that.
I get your
we
hill.
give extra. No. But I was like, I have my family, the Kahn family, other than my sister, I guess, we have no affiliation with that. We don't go there. We're never going to go to that school. Why would I give you? And if I did give you money, give me a box of chocolates or something back. I mean, it's just like we can make it a business transaction.
Yeah, it's not transactional for you. Yeah, I get it.
And I am a bitterly hearted man. Like, I'm very stingy
you don't
when it comes to giving stuff. But I'm like, okay, but that's how it's going to be going forward. But at least when we were kids, it was, hey, let's sell this stuff. Let's work towards a goal, and we'll get a prize at the end.
You'd hit the neighborhood, or you'd sell it like your baseball
And now they're
games.
it's just like somebody on a computer just like entering all these numbers and just like sending
Landry did that last year, though. He sold chocolates last year.
And I would have totally bought one. Because if it goes to benefiting the school, but to just
we don't have
straight
to.
asking for money.
Lauren takes it to work, and she just sits it at the end of the bar, and all the bar patrons and restaurant, and people come to eat, she cleans. I mean, I think the highest tier was like if you sell, they did it when we were like, if you sell so many boxes, you get like a limo ride. I think Landry.
They still do that,
dude. Yeah, Landry got a limo ride because like
what's
Lauren
cooler than that though? As a kid,
and I think the top prize was you got entered for a drawing for like a PS4 or something.
Nice.
He didn't get it, but he was still in the top tier. He got his name in the bucket.
And I'm down with that.
Yeah, Lauren cleans house with that. She just takes it up to the pub, and I mean, he sells like 10, 15, 20 boxes.
Jesus. Other than that, I just been mad about other things. People walking in the middle of the street like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
It's a growing problem. First reported here.
Yeah,
I see it all the time now.
Do you want me to get to my hill to die on? Because I texted you to you.
Is that what
Do you want me to go ahead and give it now, or do you want me to put it down here? In
I mean, I still got a hill to die on. That wasn't That was just me being pissed off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just my everyday attitude.
Okay, all right, I'll save it then. So yeah, not a lot going on for us. I start a new job tomorrow morning.
I don't know where that button is, but congratulations.
Right there.
Hey,
there you go.
Hey,
so yeah, I start a new job. I'm extremely scared. Yeah,
we just did that whole hype music for me. What do you mean? You're gonna do great.
It's definitely a good thing. It's that unknown for me,
Oh,
and
for sure. Yeah,
I think we're liking this. Like we're such creature of habits. Like I just got to the point at my previous job to where I got out of that stage of not knowing anything and like being comfortable in decisions and not second guessing. Like, can I do this? And if I do this, is this okay? Like I just got to the point to where like I was really confident. Everything became routine. I was getting good. Now
I start like making getting to know more people too.
Yeah.
Now it's like all starting over.
Now it's starting completely over. The good thing I will say about this company is he's the CEO, the owner. I hate saying CEO because they're really too small. The company, the owner, they've been in business 25 years. Some small company. He's willing to take a chance on me. He knows that I'm trying to break into the industry. He knows I'm going to school for it, but he's willing to take me on as a risk and to train me. So he's kind of investing in me, not just monetarily, but he's
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's made me feel totally comfortable. So it's just a fear of the unknown for me. Just going into a new office, new routine, new people, blah blah blah.
Yeah, for me it's new people.
Yeah,
I hate meeting new people.
Yeah, so and the only other drawback is about a 45-50 minute drive, but I've got podcasts I can get through.
Got a new whip.
I had to get a better, more reliable car because my 96 Integra, I don't trust it to make that drive every day. And now it can go in the garage and be what I wanted it to be, which is just a weekend fun car.
So that's kind of what I saw it as because, you want to keep that thing like cherry.
Yeah, and like it was fine when I was doing like 2 miles to work and 2 miles back. That's fine. But now it can be like a weekend car, and I've got a gas saver. So
yeah, that just makes all the sense. You want something that gets 30-something miles a gallon right now.
I think because I bought it in Irving, and I think on the way home I got like 35 miles a gallon.
That's good. It's
comfy. It's fine. It'll work.
Reliable and good gas mileage is all I would want if I had to drive up to Dallas or Fort Worth. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, and I stayed in the Honda gang, so.
There it is.
Stayed in the Honda gang, so got that. What else? Oh, can I ask you about my mailman?
Yeah, who is it?
I don't know. He is. He's an Asian man.
Tony Tran.
He is not nice.
TT. Yeah, they call him TT because not Tony Tran, but because he pees in bottles and leaves them in the car.
Oh my god. TT. Oh my god.
Dude, Tony's great. He's like a gambling addict. They used to own, this is going to sound very stereotypical, but they used to own a bunch of nail salons here in town, but they sold a bunch, so he made like bank off of that.
He's not nice. I say hi to him all the time. He never
I'm surprised he's surprised. He's always on his phone, dude. He drives with like his door open and his head down looking at his phone. He'll be pulling into our station and doing that.
That's typical.
And we're like, Tony, at least fucking don't do that when the supervisors are here, bro. Like, shouldn't be doing that, period, right?
He's not a nice man.
He's not, you get to know him. He's pretty fucking funny. I love that guy. He always comes up behind me and he'll be like, it's gonna sound like a bad impersonation, but he'll be like, Cowboy, touchdown! And he'll be like, who won Super Bowl? And I'm like talking to him, but he's like legitimately a sports gambling addict.
Is he?
Like he'll be like, yeah, I put down. I'm not gonna do the accent anymore. This is gonna get offensive. He'll be like, yeah, I put down like $500 on this game, and he's like, I won this amount of money, but then I lost it all on this game. And I'm like, Tony, you got to take it easy, buddy. Like he's like, I know a guy. If you ever want, like, I know the guy.
I'm just gonna surprise him when he'll be like, hey, Tony, what's the vig, bro?
Just ask him like betting questions like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Ask him what's the best parlay for this weekend.
Do you know like if he's Korean? Do you know
he's Vietnamese?
Okay, so he just walks through the neighborhood with his phone, like blaring Vietnamese like talk radio.
Yep,
and he's just like Tony walking, up and down. But yeah,
man, shout out Tony Tran. Who would have thought he was?
I wanted to ask you this forever, dude.
That guy's funny though, man. I like Tony.
He's a dick. He didn't even say hi. He didn't wave.
No, he's like that in the office, and until you start talking like sports and gambling with him, because there's like me, Lester, Deontay. There's like a few guys. He'll just walk up. He like sneaks up behind you too. It's creepy. He'll just be behind you, and then he's like shorter, right? So he like taps you on your shoulder.
Does a gong go off when he appears?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I got good bets this weekend. Like, all right, man.
Oh shit! But yeah, so I wanted to ask you about my mailman, new job, really nothing else going on. Yeah, same old shit. So let's get into the news desk. We got a few quick hits.
Damn. It was this one.
Yeah.
Or was it this one?
No. Yes. All right. So if any of you are on TikTok, you know this kid. He's the corn kid.
Oh, yeah, I know that
He's
kid.
the corn kid. His name is Tariq. He's been named South Dakota's corn ambassador. The headline or the article reads: The internet sensation known as Corn Kid Tariq has been declared South Dakota's official corn ambassador. The Washington Post reports. The office of Governor Kristi Noem made the announcement on Twitter, naming September 3rd official corn ambassador Tariq Day. The post includes photos of Tariq visiting the state's corn-themed Corn Palace over Labor Day weekend. That's so South Dakota. Let me see if I can play this.
I was saying,
clip
we gotta
of
have
little
audio
cute-
of this
little
kid.
cute
I
Tariq.
fucking love that kid.
Here we go. All right,
God
that's
bless
Tariq.
that kid.
God, he's such a cute kid.
Like, I will defend certain people to the death, and Tariq is one of them.
I think-
Like, I would lay down my life for that kid.
I just wish I loved anything half as much as Tariq loves corn. And
Don't
I
we
wish
all, man?
I wish I could find, because of course this is what people do on the internet. They remix it and they've made it into a song, and it's really catchy and it's really good using his audio. Here, talk about corn while I find it.
I don't think I
Talk about corn. Do you like corn? What's
I
your
love
favorite
corn.
style of corn?
Oh,
Cream
corn on the cob. No, here's an interesting fact. I hate canned corn. I won't eat it if it's like a side, but you put it on corn on the cob,
Yeah.
I'll tear it up. I'll eat like 2 or 3 by myself.
Mm.
And I'm known locally by my family as being like the guy that will destroy a corn on the cob. Like, I won't leave a kernel on there. I mean, I've always had, like, I guess, nice straight teeth, so I don't have, like, gaps, right? I'll just straight mow it down. I have my own technique, butter, salt, and pepper. I mean, it's great.
Let me see
I
if
hate
this
when they
works.
raise the price. It should be about 35 cents.
So that's the remix to Tariq's little interview there.
I was going to say, too, like, I know it's hard to go viral these days because everything's viral, but
Mhm.
that's like a video that went viral because Elizabeth's teacher, like, music teacher,
Mhm.
was showing them a video about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you got teachers in schools showing kindergarten kids about that video, that's like the equivalent of going viral now.
Oh, for sure.
When your 5-year-old comes home and tells you she saw a video about a kid eating corn.
Yeah. No, that's the wholesome content that I think deserves to go viral.
Yeah, the internet needs to be more like Tariq videos with corn.
Yeah. Let's make Tariq the ambassador of the internet as well. All right.
I'll
So
vote for him.
next headline. And this is going to be quick, but the headline. Blind Arizona woman to pilot plane across the country. Quote, "We don't have limits." Well, excuse me, ma'am. I
Yeah.
think you do have a limitation
Yeah,
there.
I'm pretty sure requirement number 1 is eyesight. And then, like, that'd be like saying, like, a guy with no limbs is going to, like, enter a boxing match. Like, nothing could stop
We have
me.
no limits.
Well, guess what, buddy? I hope you got a thick fucking skull because you're going down. Yeah, she's stupid. I get it. Like, when people say like nothing's impossible. First of all, that's bullshit. But like, you can put your mind on whatever you want to. But if you're blind, you're not gonna fly. You're gonna have. I mean, there's got to be like a co-pilot, obviously. Someone to be there to actually take the... Like, what if they just give her, like, a Atari joystick? And they're like, yeah, you're flying.
Like,
you're doing it.
Like when you unplug the controller for your little brother.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
you're doing it.
Wow! I wish you could see these views.
Oh my
I'd be like, look out for that mountain. Pull up. She's just, like, all over the place. Like, woo, that was close. We had to barrel roll out of that one.
Oh, God. Yeah, so she lost her peripheral vision. She can only see, like, couple inches in front of her face, and she does have a co-pilot. She does have she's like, he says, while she's piloting, I'll just be helping her navigate, helping her just basically keep the plane level.
Yeah, I guess when you get up there, it's kind of like cruise control.
Yeah, I think all the flying is done in like the first and last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You take off and you land, but other than that, you
especially
just
nowadays. All right.
Another reason not to fly. Fucking blind people are doing it now.
And I was I don't know. It might have been on Necronomipod, but they were talking about, and this is going to be another reason for you not to fly.
I got them.
About how many like fucking the pilots like are drunk or like have been drinking, and then they pilot a commercial flight,
or they're feeling suicidal, like that German guy just flew into a fucking mountain. Like you're putting all your trust. 300 people are putting all their trust in like two dudes that they're just having a good day.
Yeah, right.
Fuck that. What if that guy caught his wife banging his brother that morning, like, and he's feeling down? Guess what? We're all going down. If that's the case.
Nope. You just hear him come over the announcement. I loved her.
Slurring words. Yeah, he was my best man in my wedding. He's like, oh shit, oh shit. Nope, road trips. I
want
to take a train though, man. We can talk about that sometime. I want to take like a cross country train.
Lauren does too.
Man, me and Lauren just need to be like best friends.
We
got so much in common.
Dude, there's some badass Canadian train trips. Like if you ever want to go into Canada, and from like east to west or whatever, like just gorgeous. Like
for some reason, I just picture like Colorado. Like I want to go through Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go north to like Idaho, but just with like mountains and trees, like timber everywhere. Just that's the train ride I want to take.
Well, I'm afraid we're gonna have to take a overseas flight here before too long because Landry, we've been playing, not so much here recently, but there was a good stretch there where we were playing Battlefield 1, which is based off World War One, and so he's like really into World War One. He's like 7 going on 70. He's really into World War One, so he wants to go to like France, and because there's still some of the battle sites that you can go visit, like at some of the castles and stuff. So he wants to go to like France and Italy. So I'm like, buddy, you realize that we have to fly in a plane like over an ocean, like it's like 10, 12 hours. Deal. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah. No, I know, but
he's like, yeah, you got it, Dad. Yeah. Just pat you on the back.
Yeah, you've got $20,000 laying around.
Yeah, we can take that trip, right? Just sell your car and second mortgage on the house. Yeah. Let's go.
All right, last story here. Headline reads: 5th grade teacher arrested after admitting to an active kill list of students and staff. The teacher allegedly told a student they were on the bottom of the list.
Oh, that's good, man.
It was killing the adults first. A 5th grade teacher has been arrested after telling one of her students that she had made a kill list with students she taught and her colleagues. At approximately 5 p.m. on Wednesday, officers from the East Chicago Police Department were dispatched to speak with the principal and assistant principal of St. Stanislaus School, St. Stanislaus School, located about 20 miles south of downtown Chicago, in reference to a threatening report that school officials had learned about early in the day regarding 5th grade teacher Angelica Carrasquillo Torres, a 25-year-old educator. At approximately 12:45 p.m., a 5th grade student told his or her counselor that their 5th grade teacher made comments to her about killing herself, students, and staff at the school. East Chicago Police Department said in a statement released on social media. The teacher further told the student that she has a list that she was on the bottom of that list.
You think they're doing the pronouns because they don't want to give away the identity? Mm-hmm. Okay, I was like, man.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
In today's, I was just curious.
No, yeah, and that's...
Just to protect the kid. That makes sense.
That's the way it read, because it wasn't like them, they, or...
Hey, I'd be like, hey, by the time you get out of prison, I'll be old enough. I'll fucking kill you. I was gonna say, I bet fifth grade's just got to be like when kids just start turning into shitheads.
Oh yeah.
Fifth grade all the way up until like adulthood,
Yeah.
like they're the worst.
Yeah. Let me see if there's anything important. No, the teacher was taken into custody. She hasn't obtained legal representation. That just, when I read that, the first thing I thought of was on Billy Madison, where he puts the lipstick on and he's marking the names out on the list. That's the type of shit. You just never know who's fucking, like you said, who's piloting your plane or educating your
kids,
children.
Right?
Oh, man. All right, so let's get into Mount Rushmore. Our Mount Rushmore this week is, it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it was like you get a game day experience. Yeah, you get to go to the venue. And I also had like tailgating would be implied.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're there all day. So it's like a boat. You want to go to this stadium, but also get that experience.
Right, okay. Mine's a little weird. Not weird, it's just kind of it's just not traditional. So my first one is just a World Cup match. Obviously, the final would be my ultimate, or just a World Cup match in general. And luckily, we may have that opportunity here in about 4 years when World Cup comes to Dallas.
Yeah,
because it's heavily rumored that we're getting the final. And I know we're getting group stage games and knockout round games. So I don't care if it's two random teams. I want to go to it. I want to go to a game.
Oh yeah, it'd be better that way. I mean, you're not going to get into the America versus England game unless you like we said, like come up with a couple grand. So it's just the experience. Like I'll go see Jamaica play Haiti or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why those came out, but just two random countries. I'll go to any game.
Yeah. So that's my first one.
You just want to give all yours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just do that.
So my second one is, and I couldn't pick. I really didn't pick one, but a game at either Lambeau or like Soldier Field. Just one of those like iconic old NFL stadiums. Shout out Ryan. I know he went in Troy. I know they went to that Des drop game or Des catch game.
He caught it. Let's get real. He caught it.
Soldier
Field. They're trying to move, aren't they?
They're trying to
bring in a second team, but also might be using that as leverage.
Yeah, the mayor said they were going to bring in a second team if they threatened to move.
I mean, Chicago probably supported it. Second team if they wanted it.
Just like we could support a second team.
Jerry Jones would never let that happen and take money away from the Cowboys.
Yeah, but
he won't even let San Antonio get a team because there's a huge fan base in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. No. So yeah, a game at Lambeau or Soldier Field, and I meant to pull up the audio clip for my third one because just reading it doesn't do it justice. But have you ever seen Virginia Tech? Their pregame intro, like when they run out onto the field.
Mm-mm.
Well, they play Enter Sandman,
and
the stadium blacks out. Like turn off all the lights, and then you hear the guitar intro to Enter Sandman, and then they start like like the lights in the stadium start like strobing and flashing, and then Enter Sandman plays, and like they showed like a video from like inside the tunnel from where the players are like gonna run out, and like the walls are like flexing like from like people jumping.
Oh shit,
and, like,
that looks scary.
It's a pretty crazy experience.
College football is just different.
Yeah, so
I have one on here too. It's college football.
Virginia Tech, for the Enter Sandman intro, and then kind of my off the wall one is the 100-meter dash at the Olympics. I think that is like the most exciting, like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's over in 10 seconds, but it's exciting. Yeah.
And a couple more honorable mentions were like Kentucky Derby, like a Game 7 of a hockey, probably a Stanley Cup. But
you could say any Game 7.
Yeah,
man.
Game 7 in a hockey series.
Basketball, hockey, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just ended up going with a 100-meter dash at the Olympics just because that's like the pinnacle of that sport and of track. And it's like the most exciting like 10 seconds on Earth probably. So, other than when I have sex,
I was gonna say other than we get lucky.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my four.
Usain Bolt. I get the gold in 10 seconds.
Those are my four.
Mine were I had Madison Square Garden, New York Knicks game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the most iconic basketball venue in America
for sure.
And what I like about it is when they play a game, like if you go to any other stadium, they got the house lights on the whole game. With Madison Square Garden, they dim those lights and they put the focus on the court, so the crowd itself is like in darkness. Not darkness, but it's like And I just always thought that was cool because the focus should be on the game and not like, all around you.
No, it's definitely noticeable.
It's like sets the mood for like a basketball game. And like I said, Madison Square Garden. I had, for some reason growing up, so it's been this way for like 25 plus years, my favorite ballpark has always been Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I just fucking love that place. Like, I just think it's the most iconic, beautiful baseball stadium in the country. Like, and I'm probably all alone on that. Like, me and Kyle Ripken probably think that. It's a really weird stadium to be your favorite, but it has been for like since I was a child.
No, I just remember when Cal Ripken broke the record. They had the
brick buildings behind there. Yeah. I love stadiums that are like in the city.
Yeah,
like we're outside the city. Every stadium we got's outside the city, but when it's like in downtown Baltimore or downtown whatever major city, it just looks different. It just feels better.
I went to a Cleveland Browns preseason game, and it's right there.
That's random.
No, dude, it was random. I was up there.
Flew to Cleveland to go to that game.
No, I was up there with Brandon. He's got family in Cleveland, so I was up there. I was up there with him and visiting his family.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We didn't go, but it's like all of that stuff is like right there. All that stuff, like their stadium is downtown. Like it's cool.
It's just better.
Yeah,
that
it's
way.
different.
It's different. Yeah, I like that. My college football one was a night game at Tiger Stadium for LSU. They always say how that's like the best game day experience because they tailgate all day.
Mm-hmm.
Just drinking all night, festivities in the parking lot, and then a night game at LSU is supposed to be like legendary.
Yep, that's a good one.
I would see a soccer match at Wembley Stadium. I don't care who cared, but I'd like to go to Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. Yep.
And my honorable mentions were a college football game at Kyle Field for Texas A&M, Fenway Park in Boston, and Goodison Park.
That's where Everton.
That's our boy. That's my boy, Everton.
That's where Everton plays.
And the last one would be the infield at Talladega Speedway.
See, I thought about putting
like all the weekend in an RV.
I thought about putting an F1 race on here, and not down in Austin, but like a legit like F1 experience. I think that would be cool.
F1, you can go to Europe for that too.
Yeah, you can go to Europe, Asia, all over the world.
We had a good eclectic mix. It wasn't just like 4 football stadiums.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I tried to make mine that way.
And if I could only pick one, it might be the LSU night game.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, it'd be a World Cup match for sure.
Yeah, you'd save a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's expensive. That's why I picked that one.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have you mentioned you had a hill to die on?
Oh yeah, I got one.
All right.
It's Derek Jeter's the top 5 shortstop of all time. That's what it is. Statistically, how are you not going to look at that guy?
That was not the argument. That was not the argument.
I was so drunk that night,
dude.
I don't remember. I just remember everybody's giving me shit now,
dude. And then
it must have been wild.
I don't
remember. I just remember like I thought I was hugging on people and giving out facts. Apparently, I was like just belligerent.
And then like,
what was the argument?
The argument was that the aura of Derek Jeter, the legend of Derek Jeter, wouldn't be as big if he wasn't a Yankee. Like the New York Yankees.
But if he had the same success for like what other team?
Milwaukee. He would still be a top 5 shortstop. He just wouldn't be Derek fucking Jeter.
Yeah, he would because he would have won 5 championships for Milwaukee. And they'd be like, "Who's fucking Milwaukee had before this guy?" And then he took him to 5 championships.
You can't say
that. It would amplify.
Yeah,
because if he had the same career with a different team.
If he had the same career, but he might not have
success.
the same career.
What?
He might not have the same team around him. He might not have.
But he still wins 5 championships.
I don't know.
No, we are. We're saying he's just same career, same everything, accolades, just a different team.
I still think that him being in New York helped him be Derek fucking Jeter.
Anybody in New York's going to help you with your star status, and
that's all I was saying. I never said he wasn't a top 5 shortstop.
Well, it morphed into that apparently.
I know. And what was funny
now
is
just that.
Like the argument was over, and then like 2 hours later, somebody was just said Derek Jeter, and you're like,
it's just like fuck you. He's great.
That's what was great about it. Is like, and then like an hour after that, like it had all calmed down, and somebody's like, you know what, Derek Jeter, blah blah blah, and you're like, nah.
Hey man, it's my hill to die on. That was like my golden era of baseball. Was like late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, for sure was, man.
And he was greatness. He was the best player in that lineup. Because I think your argument was like, well, look at the players around him. I was like, you're thinking like Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill and Tito Martinez. Like he was the Yankees. Like yeah, they had great pitching, but in that lineup, in that late '90s era, like he was by far the best player. It wasn't like he was protected by the guys before him and after him.
No.
I love Bernie Williams, though, too. I think we brought that up. Like, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I was always a big Bernie Williams fan.
Yeah, put center field, right?
Center field or right field,
yeah.
And Paul O'Neill's in the other corner outfield.
Yeah,
they're both outfielders. But Yeah, man, Derek Jeter, top 5 of all time.
I agree with you.
And then my other one, this one's really random, but it irks me every time I see them, right? Single cab trucks with long beds should be illegal.
Yeah,
Ugliest fucking truck.
It just doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right. It just looks like a fucking little kid just drew out what he thinks a truck should look like. Little cab with like a 20-foot bed.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? Who needs
I used
that?
to think that too, and then somebody told me, like, sometimes ranchers or farmers need the utility of the longer bed, but they don't necessarily.
3% of those people are ranchers that need that bed.
1%.
1%
that you see on the road.
The rest are just like, yeah, I guess I'll need that bed. I need 4 lawnmowers in the back of my truck one day. It's like, it just looks so ugly. Now, if it's a extended cab, a 4-door with a long bed, that's just a big truck. That looks okay.
Yeah.
But a single cab truck with a long bed, get the fuck out of here.
I agree with you.
That's ugly.
So my hill to die on. I think it's weird as an adult male to wear jerseys of current players. And I usually don't have this borderline, like, I don't even know how to describe it, like, I don't know. I just think it's weird to wear another dude's name on the back of your on your back. I just think it's weird.
A lot of people do it. That's a hot take.
Know. I think when you're younger, it's acceptable because they're your heroes. They're older than you. It's somebody you can look up to. It's somebody you aspire to be. But I don't know. I just think it's weird. Like, I'm wearing another dude's name on my back.
Especially if he's younger than you.
Especially if, like,
if he's like 22 or young.
Like, you're wearing a dude name on your back. I just think it's weird. And there's plenty of other apparel if you want to support your team. They have t-shirts, they have polos, all kinds of stuff. Hoodies, jackets, whatever. I just think it's weird to wear another dude's name on your back as an adult man.
That's why I just wear my Larry Allen jersey.
That's fine. He's older than you. He was an icon.
He bench pressed like 700 pounds. You fucking kidding me?
He would rip you in half.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Probably win like an eating contest.
But I'm not going out and buying a Micah Parsons jersey.
I mean, if someone gave me one, I'd wear it.
I don't know.
Well, if it was gifted to you. If Landry bought you that. If you bought a matching Micah Parsons jersey, you wouldn't be like, get the fuck out of here, kid. This is stupid. You'd wear it.
If you bring the sun into it, yeah, I'd wear it. But if somebody
bought it for you, and she was like,
I would frame it and hang it up in either the main
what if she
cave
was like,
or the
man,
office.
you look really sexy if you wear that, and you walk out with just like that and your dick dangling.
Well, depending on the size of the jersey's
the jersey's pretty long. He's like, got to be slapping knees for that. Let's just keep it real here.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's my hill to die on. It's a little. I usually don't have takes like that. Like, I'm comfortable like with my like sexuality, masculinity. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. That's something like girls do. Like in high school, they wear their boyfriend's jerseys on Fridays before the game. I don't know. It's just weird.
That's probably the most controversial thing you've said on here.
Is it?
A lot of people wear jerseys.
I think it's just a little weird.
What you're saying is it should be like I like to buy a retired because I'm like, look, that guy could be gone in a year, or it could just like think of all the people who bought like Jalen Smith's jerseys and like or Claiborne, like those guys started good and then they just dog shit.
That's another reason I don't.
I want a guy to be in the Hall of Fame before I buy it, so I know this guy was a Cowboy for life and he's in the Ring of Honor.
Like if I bought, I would buy like a Troy Aikman jersey,
right,
and wear it, because he was my idol growing up.
Anybody who's retired now and had a great career for us for an extended period of time is acceptable. I get that.
Okay. All right. I'm glad we can agree to that point.
But Luka's different. I'd fucking wear a Luka jersey because he's just like the chosen one. He's the exception.
I agree with you.
All right. Well, look at that. Compromise.
Boom.
Luke, if you're like the chosen one, you can wear that jersey.
Yeah. Like to your local market. Like I'm not going out and buying...
My little shithead nephews, not only is he a Chiefs fan, he's wearing Golden State gear now. It's like, you're the most stereotypical Gen Z sports fan. Making, like, dabbing on TikTok in your jerseys and stuff. It's like, I just want to kick that kid sometimes.
Do it.
Just throw a football right at his chest.
It's like that Peyton Manning's SNL skit.
Right in the fucking head. Just drilling him.
All right, so do you want to get... we've got this... run sheet here, and
what was next?
BB wrap up, but
Taylor won.
Yeah, but this is kind of the motto of today's show.
What great audio, man. That was like 30 years ago. People still use it all the time.
Young Bill O'Reilly.
Right? He's like retired now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, BB Big Brother Taylor won.
We can just do like a quick couple minutes on it. Like
the final two was Monty and Taylor.
It was my pick to win, dude.
And Monty fucked it up by not.
Monty
bringing
won
Turner.
the final HOH, so he got to pick who to take.
Yeah, and he picked Taylor, who clearly displayed a great fucking social game the entire game because she went from public enemy number one to
America's sweetheart, basically.
The fact that you chose her over fucking Turner, where you would have all the he would have swept. He would have swept 9-0.
It was a $750,000
stupid mistake.
Because Taylor, because you just got to know, she's African American.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been an African American woman to win, and she knew that, and she was very smart. And in her final speech, was like, "We can make history today." She was just kind of like appealing to everyone with these things, like, you know, it can always be the strong guy, or it can be the woman who was resilient and, you know, like stuck to it the whole time and was able to claw her way to the top. And she was giving that speech, and I told Claire, I was like, she's going to fucking win. Like, that speech that she just gave was so good, she just won Big Brother with that one speech. Because you could see people, like, wiping away tears and shit, and I was like, oh, yeah, she just won. And I bet Monty's shitting his pants. Thinking, what did I just do? Her speech was just so well prepared and well delivered. That's what, I mean, she was probably going to win anyways because she did play a good game, but that speech just sealed it, man. She killed it on that speech.
Yeah, that was just a dumb mistake for Monty.
And Taylor won America's Favorite House Guest, so she became the first person ever to win Big Brother this season and America's Favorite House Guest.
And I believe she's the first person to not compete in the final HOH and win.
Wow. Yeah, it really came down to Monty choosing who to take, and he made the wrong choice. Because I think it was 7-2 was the final vote count.
Yeah, I think it was 8-1.
8-1. It was Turner voted for him.
Yeah,
and you're right. If he had taken Turner,
he sweeps.
He sweeps because Turner was a good player, but Turner never took credit for the big moves, which is stupid because once the move's made, I'm taking all the credit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got that fucking guy out. He'd be like, no, like, we talked about it, but it was, you know, for instance, Matt did it. Yeah. Matt was the one. It's like, why are you giving credit to someone else? Especially when it's a big player. So, yeah, he would have crushed Turner in that
final. Overall, I will say this is Big Brother US's best season.
Oh, I loved it.
In probably 8 years.
It was it was one of my favorite seasons
since
of all
16, time. Probably. And then what a turnaround, because when we saw the cast, and then especially after that first episode, we were like, man,
that's every year. Every year, I fucking hate everybody. By the end of the year, there's most of them I like, and a couple of them I really like. Like, I really like Michael.
Yeah, let's talk about him. He broke Janelle's record of.
Did he break it or he tie it?
I think he broke it. He had 8 comp wins.
They had the double eviction. That's what got him. He knew too.
He knew.
And when he went out, Claire was like, "Why is he doing all that?" I was like, "Bro, if you're going out, like, I'm throwing all the middle fingers up." Yeah, that's what he did. He sold out Brittany, who was his ride or die. You saw Brittany at the end; she was just crying. Like, why would he say that? Because it's Big Brother, and that was his last chance.
Yeah.
And then when they voted him out, he's like, "Everyone stay seated. I got one thing I'd like to say." And he just walked out the door, and they're all like standing there. I was like, "What a fucking boss move, man!" Like, I know people didn't like him. I don't know why. I loved him.
He was a comp beast. I mean, looking at the dude,
I was going to make a T-shirt because you know what he did every time he won? Put his hands up.
Yeah.
I was going to get that image like that, and it'd just say "Comp God."
Yeah.
I want to get that shirt made. I love Michael. I thought he was the best social. He was strategic, and he was a comp beast. And you wouldn't think that because he's like 6'4", 137 pounds.
Yeah, just gangly, just kind of awkward.
Long-limbed, but he was
a lot of people didn't take him seriously because he was gay. There's a stigma that, you know, gay people don't do well in comps. He was probably the best competition player ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all in all, good season. I didn't really like the winner. I mean, I just don't think... I'm not saying I don't like Taylor because she overcame a lot.
She did. When you look at the adversity she went through, it's like, okay, that's why she won. Yeah. Because she overcame so much. It's not because she was running the house, but the fact that she was able to resilient enough to stay in long enough to take sides with the right people. Mm-hmm. She strategically did what she had to do. She floated, doggy paddled until she had to just like make a speech, and she made a speech. But yeah, she didn't. I get what you're saying. She deserves it, but it wasn't my top 3 picks.
Yeah, no. I think Monty. I would have been okay with Monty. He just made the wrong fucking choice.
And I feel bad because at the end too, like she was all up on Joseph. Joseph got evicted. She went straight to Monty, which I told Claire, I was like, you know, Monty's got to be thinking, look, when I was in this house with Joseph, she picked Joseph. Mm-hmm. Now he's out, so now she wants me. It's like, you know, your second pick. But he still got with her, and I mean, I don't know what they did, but they were cuddling and making out. And then Joseph found out, broke his heart. And then after the season, I guess her and Joseph are like getting back together.
I don't know. I've kind of fallen off.
I've seen videos
Big
of them
Brother
like, yeah,
Reddit.
you know how they'd be like, so what's
Yeah.
next for you
Yeah.
two? And she won a cruise and she's taking Joseph. So
Oh.
I think they're going to try to work it out. But I'm like, bro, she just like immediately moved on from you to somebody else which you could say it's Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
You got to align
Yeah.
yourself with people. And when you're an attractive female or an attractive male,
Mhm.
you have that ability to be like, hey, I want to be with you now. And they'll do it because you're a good looking person. So that's part of the game.
All right, so that was Big Brother for me.
I think we'll have a winter season though. I think there'll be a celebrity winter season.
Something I'll be skipping. I'll be going straight to Big Brother Canada, which starts in February.
Oh, well, I'll still watch.
I'll figure out a way so you can watch it. We can watch it.
Yeah, it's called me coming over and sitting on your couch with you.
That's fine.
That's how I watch it. What are you talking about?
Well, I gotta get like a VPN, and because we're obviously not in Canada, so I gotta get a VPN,
In
and
North America, it counts.
we still can't get it because it's on some network that we don't get down here.
It's the
So-
Canadian broadcast channel,
Yeah,
CBC.
something like that. Yeah, I bet.
I mean, we got
Um,
BBC, ABC. Why not
NBC,
CBC?
yeah. All right. So next on the run sheet, do you want to talk NFL? Do you want to ask me questions? What do you want to do?
The questions are done. We can just knock those out real quick.
Ask me questions. I like this part. I don't have
Okay.
to drive the bus. I can just.
Yeah, and like I said, it's going to take like 2 minutes, but I'll come up with better questions. These I literally wrote down 10 minutes before you came over.
All right.
All right, you're going to a donut shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting donuts.
Yep.
So are you getting a breakfast burrito, a pig in a blanket, or a biscuit / croissant?
It depends. Usually pig in the blanket, but if you go off of Brown over 287,
Uh-huh.
you know where that Exxon is right there?
Yeah.
And
There's a strip right there.
There's a donut shop right there. They have the best sausage biscuits,
Damn, I pass that every day for work because I go over that bridge, 27 bridge, to get to my route.
and they're not traditional biscuits. It's like they get the dough and the sausage and they roll it all together, and then they make like drop biscuits where they just kind of drop them on the pan and then bake them. So it's got the
Are they big?
yeah, they're like this
Oh,
big.
oh wow.
They've got like sausage, cheese, and the biscuits, and then the edges get crispy. It's
Damn, that
amazing.
sounds good.
But yeah, just a normal everyday
Right,
donut
like you're
shop.
going down you're in some town you never been to, and there's a donut shop.
piggy. I'm getting piggies.
See, that's
I'm
what Claire
getting
always gets. I always get a biscuit. All right, you're going to the movies,
Uh-huh.
and you only got enough to buy because you're already getting a drink, right? That's a given. You
Yep.
got to get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Are you buying popcorn, hot dogs, candy, or whatever you can sneak in?
Whatever I can sneak in, but then you got to go. Am I by myself? Hot dog. If I'm with a family, I got to get popcorn.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Let me sidebar.
Hot
this.
dogs up here are $1, bro. So
I
I,
know,
load
they're
up
great.
on hot dogs.
Sidebar. Speaking of the movies, on Friday we took Landry to the drive-in for the first time.
The one off 45.
Yeah, and it was great. We took him to see La La Crocodile. Highly recommended.
I think we talked about that.
Highly recommended. And we took the Fit, and it was great, dude. The back hatch opens
Oh,
all the way
hell
up, and you can lay the seats down, and it was like a queen-size bed in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we brought a ton of pillows and blankets, and we just laid back, and it was big enough. I mean, it's a small car, but it was big enough for me, Lauren, and Landry to all get in there comfortably.
That's the way to do it.
We got, it was a perfect night. It was like 75 degrees.
Sun's going down earlier now.
Dude, like, we got popcorn. I actually got pickle. We got drinks. I got
How did you
Twizzlers.
get a pickle?
I don't know why. I was like, I saw a big jar of pickles. I was like, I haven't had a pickle since I was like 12 years old.
Well, when
Give me a
we
pickle.
go, there's a liquor store about a mile up the road, too. I know
Mhm.
people go and just buy like a bottle of liquor.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was just a cool vibe. Landry's never been. He thought it was great because he could get up and like kind of stand out right outside the car.
And they got like, they used to have putt-putt and other kid activities that you could
I don't know. It was dark
before.
when we pulled in, so we just found our screen and like just parked. But it was great. We got the snacks, the drinks, the whole 9 yards. Now there's a Buc-ee's like 4 miles down the road. I think next time we go, we're just gonna go to Buc-ee's and get everything and just bring it in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that makes the most
But I wanted
sense.
Landry to have like the experience, so it was cool. He dug the
Was
driving.
it a double feature? I don't think they do
Mm-mm.
that anymore. That used to be the best deal. You could get
Yeah.
a ticket for $6 and it's a double feature.
Yeah, but yeah, La La Crocodile was really good. So that's a good one to go take Kelly.
All right, well, me and Claire should get a movie date this weekend, but we got to add a contender to it. All right, this is what started the whole question off because I was watching something, and this is the way a person was eating spaghetti.
Okay,
Do you eat it off a plate or a bowl?
plate.
I'm a bowl guy.
I could do either, but normally it's a plate.
I always put it in the bowl. The guy was eating off a plate, and I was like, "What the fuck is this person doing?"
I think it's a plate just because it's more formal, I guess.
More
but
authentic.
yeah, but like I totally could do a bowl too. I like spaghetti.
See, I do bowl because I feel like it's all contained better. It's
Yeah,
like, I don't know,
is
because I put
contained.
it. I know it's not like it, but I put it in the same category. Like if we're gonna do broad categories, it's like if I was gonna make a pot roast.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a stew. It's got meat, and potatoes, and everything. I wouldn't put that on the plate.
No,
I
it's
put
a
that
bowl.
in a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So you
looks like
can
we
get the
differ.
gravy or the juice or whatever.
Right,
whatever
not-
it's
because it
cooking
has
in.
the sauce. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm associating the sauce with like the gravy.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
But
You're
that's
not
what-
wrong either
That's
way.
what started it all off.
You're
I was
not
like,
wrong either way.
well, I was watching that movie and I was like, I'm a bowl guy, and I was like, I wonder what Matt does. I wonder how Matt eats his spaghetti. Okay, so 2 sports questions.
Okay.
We can only keep one of these guys, and I feel like this isn't very good because one's a no-brainer. One of them has to leave our franchise forever.
Mm-hmm.
Micah Parsons or Luka.
Oh, shit.
You can only keep one. See, I think it's a no-brainer, but I was like, who could I compare the closest Luka to? I might have to just...
It's hard because like both of them are generational. I feel
And they're
like
both really young.
they're both young. They're both
Marketable.
could be top 5 in their positions all time.
Mhm.
Like, oh my god.
See, I would keep Luka.
Yeah, I
just because
think I'd keep
basketball, if you have a top 5 basketball player, just at one of those guys, you can make the playoffs. You can't make the playoffs with Micah being your best player.
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
harder. I think it's harder to come by players like Luka in basketball.
Yeah.
You know, Micah is up there. You know, name off the guys that are kind of in his league. You know, Von
Well,
Miller's
I was
a
going to say
little
Von
older.
Miller. If you could go in the past, you'd have Von Miller, Miles Garrett.
You know,
Maybe
if you want to
he's
go,
just
if you
bigger.
want to go really old school, you know, like Sean Merriman back in the day for that short,
Watt
you know,
brothers,
with the Watt brother. So there we named
Bosa
off
brothers,
6-8 guys. Basketball, they're fewer and far between.
and with basketball, I feel like you could play longer. Like you could play until you're 33 and
Mhm.
still be a top 10 player. Like LeBron, still arguably a top 10 player, and he's in like his 20
Top,
whatever, almost
Yeah.
his 20th year,
Yeah.
19th year or something.
I agree.
So I would
agree.
keep Luka, and
Yeah.
sadly we'd have to watch Parsons
Mhm.
go to another team.
And
But
that's-
hey, we could keep both. Look at that. Okay, last one. Both these guys are due a big contract, and you can only pay one of them. You pay Trayvon Diggs or CeeDee Lamb.
Trayvon Diggs.
I do too.
Because
Again,
I
because a corner's harder to come by than
Yeah.
a receiver. Man, there's certain times when I watch CD and I'm like, I thought this guy was going to be the next whatever. Like what Justin Jefferson is. I thought CD was going to be what Justin Jefferson is because they were the same draft. And then sometimes he just drops open passes or...
I agree. He's got to get the drops under control, but also brought up a interesting fact and interesting stats comparing Devontae Adams and CD. Apparently, because I'm not a Green Bay fan, I didn't watch early Devontae Adams. He had drop problems too, and they broke it down year by year, year 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever they're in now, and their stats are almost identical. Drops, catches, yards, yak, all that, almost identical up to this point in their career. So I'm calming down on.
Yeah, that's the trajectory.
I'm calming down on CD. He has played 3 quarters with Dak as the number 1, as the guy. I'm gonna chill. I'm okay with CD.
And he's in his 3rd, so we would have one more and then the 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So he's still got a ways to go.
I'm okay with CD. I'm not, I don't post on Reddit in that one game, maybe the New York game or something.
It was one where he redeemed himself
He
later.
redeemed himself. Like,
Yeah.
I had to get on there and post because people were shitting on him. Like, he doesn't produce. I'm like, he's had nothing but 1,000-yard seasons. Or maybe one was like 989 yards or some shit like that. Like,
People expect a number 1 to have 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns now, and it's like I'll be good with 1,000 yards and 9 to 10 touchdowns. Like
Yeah.
that's good, especially when you have complimentary like
And-
Michael Gallup, great number 2.
yeah, and and Noah Brown and Cooper Rush grew up on the practice squad together. Like, of course they're gonna have chemistry.
Yeah, that's why he's going to him so much.
Yeah, and what do you expect when there's 16 pass attempts and 10 completions? Like, everybody just calm down. Let Dak get back. He's played 3 quarters with Dak as his quarterback, as the number 1, against a good fucking Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what we overreacted to, and it's like, well, Tampa Bay just has a top 5 defense.
I definitely overreacted. And Brandon, kind of...
Well, I'm glad he only brought you into that because I was the exact same way. I was making memes about it. I was telling everybody how the season was over. Like me and you were on the same.
And my argument was, If anybody then, at the time of the Dak injury, said Cooper Rush is going to go 4-0,
Yeah.
this team is going to be 4-1, I would have said you're fucking lying.
You're full of shit.
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I was just going based off what I had seen.
And looking at the schedule, we had to play the defending AFC champs, the defending Super Bowl champs. You'd be like, well, those are 2 L's, right? Those teams were in the Super Bowl last year. Little we know, we handily beat the Super Bowl champs.
The Giants, who are surprisingly 4-1. You know, the only real kind of bad team I think we've played is Washington.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, I was at that game, too.
I know. You didn't even tell me you were going. I found out from Facebook.
How'd you find my Facebook?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, maybe it was GroupMe. Maybe you posted.
I posted a picture on there, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the experience I was hoping for. It was supposed to be me and my dad, and then I was like, oh, and now your nephew and brother-in-law coming too. And I'm like, all right, well, that's a father-son. That's fine. Like, oh, no, actually, it's going to be your little sister and her boyfriend. So, okay, so now it was supposed to be like this special thing, like, hey, you and your dad are going, and it's y'all's birthday's gift. Because my dad's birthday was like a week ago, and mine's in a couple weeks. And then it was like, oh, well, now they're coming. It's like, so it's not a birthday thing anymore. It's just whoever wants to come. And, yeah, they were complaining a lot. They were, like, dragging ass, dude. Because we're walking up to the stadium, and it's, like, 11:50. And we're still a few hundred yards away. And I was like, bro, we're going to get in there. It's going to take a while. Like, we got to go. And we ended up, they were just, I was turning around and looking at them, and they're just dragging ass. And I'm like, let's fucking go. You know, like, I've been waiting on this game. Finally get inside, and we didn't get in there until the game was already started. And then they're just kind of complaining. My sister fell asleep somehow in her seat with 90,000 people there. And then the fourth quarter starts, and she's like, how many minutes are in the fourth quarter? I said, there's 15. She goes, oh, I just want to go now. And my dad's like, you about ready to go? I said, no, I'm not. I was like, it's just started the fourth quarter. I was like, this is supposed to be my birthday gift. You know, like, I should get to stay as long as I want.
Absolutely.
But no, we had to leave early. But we left when the final score was already set. The only thing we missed was, who's that corner out of Fresno we got? It's not
Deron Bland.
I believe it was Bland got an interception.
Pick,
That was the one thing we missed. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Next time I'm going by myself, or I'm just going with Matt, or just my dad, like so we can stay for the whole fucking game and get out.
For sure. All right, so that kind of leads us right into we are recording on Sunday, October 16th. We have the Cowboys have a big game tonight.
That's us.
It's the 5-0 Eagles versus the. versus the 4-1 Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a great. I mean, just you couldn't ask for a better atmosphere.
It really is
in Philly.
Yeah, this is our best rivalry, and I've always enjoyed Sunday Night Football more than any other. Like the noon game, the 3 o'clock game, the Monday night. I like Sunday night even better, and it's not because it's the announcers. It's just I don't know. There's something special about Sunday night. Like we usually made a big dinner, you know. I'm off tomorrow. Oh, shit, I should say my mother-in-law has major surgery tomorrow. So thoughts and prayers to Super.
Yep.
Yeah, prayers up, Super. But so I'm off tomorrow because I'm just going to be chilling at the house with Owen because Claire has to take her in and everything. So I was like, I'm just staying up. I'm pounding some yellow bellies and watching the Cowboys.
I will be falling asleep shortly right after the game. But
you got to get up for the big job.
Yeah, no, I think Sunday's great because especially when the Cowboys are playing because Sunday gives me all day. Like, I can put whatever I want on the smoker or the grill. I've got the salsa going. Lauren usually makes me queso. And it's just kind of snacking and just chilling all day. And then you get that build up, and you can listen to the pregame.
So if we have another Sunday night, I'm just going to come over.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'll throw something on there.
Tonight's not going to work, but I will be over for a Sunday night game.
Yeah, let's do it.
But Sunday night game, I'm very excited. You want to preview it a little?
Yeah, so to me, this comes down to good on good for both teams. They've got a good offense. We've got a good defense. Cowboys still we haven't given up 20 points in a game. I think that changes here. So the question is can Cooper Rush and this offense keep up with the Philly offense?
Yeah.
I think it is important to make Jalen Hurts a passer. I think if we let him get out on the edges,
contain him, and force him to be in the pocket.
If we let him get out on the edges and get on the perimeter and get dangerous, with his legs, I think it could be bad. I would put.
Who are you putting Diggs on?
AJ Brown.
At least Devontae Smith the torch us.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to lose one guy, let's make it AJ Brown.
I'm honestly more scared of Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about starting him tonight. I don't know.
It's not, well, if they put Diggs on on Brown, it might be a good
Well,
call.
see, but Diggs doesn't travel. Diggs plays one side of the field. If you notice in that Rams game, he wasn't always lined up on Cup. He plays his side of the field for the most part.
I'm
so
good with that too.
I mean, he does what he does. I mean, he's
If I were a corner, I would want to do that. Like, let me just stay here and get my groove on my side.
So I think it's going to come down to good on good. I mean,
Yeah.
whose best unit is going to win out tonight?
That's how I explained it to my friend, because I said, I think our defense and their offense are their strengths, so they're going to cancel each other out. So it's going to come down to our offense being better than their defense.
Mhm.
And that's why you can be skeptical, because our offense right now with Cup, even though he's won, guy had 106 passing yards last game. So it's not like he's lighting it up. It's our defense that is winning these games for us.
Absolutely.
And Coop's just not losing them, which is what you would ask from a backup. You know, you can't ask
Drive the bus,
hey, go
man.
out there and throw for 300 yards.
No.
No. Get 250, right? 250 with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions would be ideal.
And that's the thing about Cooper Rush is he's not turning the ball over.
Nope,
the Cowboys
he's
aren't
great.
turning the ball over. The last turnover we had was that Dalton Schultz fumble in the Cincinnati game. So we have not turned over the ball. We've taken care of it, which pair that with the defense, and Cooper Rush is kind of keeping the bus on the road. That's all we can ask for. If it's me, I put Donovan Wilson as a spy on Jalen Hurts. I just want Micah to free up.
Play 3 safeties. Now that Chris is back.
Well, we play a lot of 3 safeties anyway. We play a lot of 3 safeties. If you notice, just kind of as a base package, we play a lot of 3 safeties. But I want Micah to either play more linebacker this game to try to contain the running game and contain Hurts if he does get it, break containment. But on the other hand, Philly's O-line is also dealing with some injuries. So
I heard they're all going to start, though.
They're all going to start, but they're still dealing with injuries. And I want us to get up early, and just that way D-Law and those guys can just pin their ears back and just get after them. Because I think you have to attack them.
I mean, if we could do like last game, that's how you start a game. What was that? Strip sack of and then a block
D-Law,
punt?
yeah.
See, I think keys to this game, without oversimplifying it, is defense is going to have to force turnovers, and we're going to have to get at least 10 points off those turnovers.
Yeah.
Because it's going to have to be the defense that sets us up with field position. Because I don't see Cooper Rush doing many 80-yard drives.
Mm-mm.
I don't see Ezekiel Elliott running for more than 14 yards as is long. It's going to be Pollard breaking one, CD catching one, and breaking in stride. And it's not going to be a bomb. It's going to be a stride catch where he catches it and he's just gone. And it's going to be our defense setting us up with field position. And it could come down to who has the last ball last and who can make a field goal. I think it come down to a last-second field goal.
And shout out Maher, man. He's been lights out this year.
Yep,
for a guy who didn't end his first Cowboys tenure the best, he's in a position we were all. I know me and you were kind of concerned about it coming out of camp.
Always, dude. The only teams who feel good about their kicker position is Bengals and Baltimore. Everyone else, you could be gone next week if you don't play right.
Yeah, so, shout out to Maher. Shout out, really shout out, and I don't do this often, shout out Jerry Jones for kind of staying the course, when Dak went down, it was, could we get Garoppolo?
Yeah,
could we get this
stupid.
guy? Could we this? And
I never want. They're like, we could trade our 2 this year and
No.
3 next year. It's like, why? For a guy for a rental?
yeah,
We got a guy that's coming back in a month.
Yeah, so
I was so anti all those picks.
shout out,
because old Jerry would have been wanting to make a splash.
yeah, so
Yeah.
credit to Jerry Jones and that front office for pulling kind of that Aaron Rodgers relaxed, type statement. Like, hey, we feel good about, and I killed him for that statement. We feel good about our guys. I mean, their guys have paid off because I think you could argue that Steele has been better than Lyle Collins. Tyler Smith pick has worked out. So shout out to the front office.
Bringing in Jason Peters, even if he's not your starter, just to have that presence in your
the
locker room.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's you can't put a price on that. So
okay, I got a hypothetical.
Okay,
right? Year's over. We went 11-6, 12-5. We made it to the divisional round. Got eliminated. Do you fire Mike McCarthy and promote Dan Quinn?
Absolutely.
I do too. He's not going to fucking be a coordinator for one more year.
No, he's gone after this year if we don't keep him.
They said he's getting paid like a coach, like a head coach, and he loves it here. But they're already I've heard Denver.
Well,
that Hackett could be gone after this year, and he almost got that Denver job.
Well, think about it, man. There's only 32 of these games.
Yeah, exactly. It's
There's
very
only
lucrative.
32 in the whole world.
Mhm.
There's only 32, so it doesn't really matter what situation he's going into, what the team.
Denver's
He's going to take it.
Denver's one of those franchises too. At like, I wouldn't say they're like iconic, but they're like on a tier 2 or 3. Like they're one of those teams where it's like that's a pretty lucrative.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
They're
good,
a top 10 franchise.
Pretty good gig.
Yeah, like you said, it's a good gig.
So if it's me, I don't care. I mean, he'd have to win the Super Bowl for me to keep McCarthy. But
if he made it to an NFC Championship, I
He's
think
gonna
he keeps
stay.
because he weathered the storm with Rush, and look how high of ourselves we're getting as
Yeah.
Cowboy fans. If we win the Super Bowl, that's not going to happen. But if he makes it that far and he weathered the storm of Dak being out, you got to give him credit.
more than likely,
But I fucking hate to lose Dan Quinn.
I've been bad on my predictions this year, so take this with a grain of salt. We go in typical Cowboys fashion. We lose in the wild card round.
Yeah.
McCarthy goes. We promote Dan Quinn.
I would 100% be down for
And
that.
hopefully Dan Quinn can bring in. He's got an eye for talent. He can bring in another DC, even though he will more than likely
Right.
still call the defense. And that's the route we take.
I mean, look at where we come from with what was the Mike Dolan? Is that his name?
Mhm.
From his defense
2 years ago.
2 years
Worst in-
ago,
worst-
worst in franchise history. And now we're talking about how this defense is carrying this team. That's all.
We're
Dan
talking
Quinn.
about doomsday
Yeah,
heyday.
we're talking about like what they say. This is our first time in since 1972 where we've held opponents under 20 points in like 5 straight games to
Yep.
start the year.
Yep.
I mean, that was when our
That's
parents were
doomsday.
still in high school watching that.
So you got a score prediction?
I always thought like I'm gonna fucking pick the Cowboys because fuck the Eagles. I don't care if we were playing like the Chiefs, or the Bills. I'd say yeah, we're not gonna win this game, but fuck the Eagles. I'm not gonna pick the Eagles, so I'm gonna say Cowboys 21-17.
Okay. I got Cowboys 23-21.
All right, so they play close game, and it can come down to
My heart says Cowboys, and my head says the
Exactly,
the
but I'm
the Cooper Rush magic.
I'm not going to
here.
fucking say that Philadelphia wins on my podcast, in my rooms, right here in this house. I can't say it.
Trust me, I get it. I was rooting for the fucking Patriots against the Eagles in the
That
Super
was the
Bowl.
worst Super Bowl, dude.
And
Like,
people thought I was stupid. They're like, "It's the Patriots." I don't care. It's the fucking Eagles.
Eagles have been
They
hanging
won,
dog
and then
on
they
us.
were eating fucking horse shit in the fucking streets.
No,
you
that-
want to root for those people?
And then that night, like, I don't know if I've told you about this, but that night, like, Kim and Dakota came over to watch the Super Bowl. Worst idea ever, because they were just yakking it up. Elizabeth was a baby, right? She was like 6 months, and then they were like, all right, well, we're going to go down to this bar so you can watch the game. They ended up getting so fucking shit-faced. Oh, no, it was Claire and Kimberly went down first, and Dakota's like, wanted to stay and watch, quote, watch the game with me. And that was a great Super Bowl,
Yeah, it
the
was a
Philly
good
special
game,
and everything.
yeah.
It was a great game. And he's not even paying attention. He's like, I'm going to go check on them because, I think they're too drunk. He ends up going just hammered, getting drunk with them for like the next 3 hours. They come back that night, drop off Claire. Game's already over. I'm asleep. Claire gets in bed with me. She's so fucking drunk. She like throws up in the bed. And Elizabeth's laying in bed with her. She throws up all over the baby. And I'm just looking at her like, you dumb fucking bitch. Like, I was like, I got up and I went on the couch. I said, you can fucking deal with this. She was so mad at me the next day. She's like, you let me throw up and you didn't wake me. I said, you fucking threw up.
Yeah, I didn't. I
watched the Super Bowl. You went and got shit faced and threw up on our fucking baby. You get to deal with that.
Calm down, Mom of the
So
Year.
that's why it was like the worst Super Bowl. Philly won, and then Claire threw up all over the baby. I was like, I'll never forget that night, dude. Like that was such a shitty
Oh
night.
God! All right.
I had. This is my old outline. I had playoff predictions. If you want me to just run through that.
run it.
On the AFC, I had the Bengals winning the North as a 3 seed, Bills in the East as the 1. This one aged poorly. I had Indianapolis coming out of the South, and in the West, I had the Chargers like a fucking idiot because I put money on the Chargers. So obviously, that's going to be the Chiefs, and my 2 wild cards were Baltimore and Miami. So again, not aging well. In the NFC, I had Minnesota as my 2 seed. That's looking good. I like Minnesota this year. I had Dallas as my 4 seed, Tampa Bay as 1, San Francisco as 3. Wild cards were New Orleans, Philly, and Detroit. I really like Detroit this year. And in the Super Bowl, I had Tampa Bay losing to the Buffalo Bills. But my dark horse pick that I would love to see, but it's not going to happen now because one team's dog shit, was Minnesota versus the Colts. I just thought the Colts would get an easy schedule with their conference games or with their division games to win enough games to maybe get like a couple home games. And I guess I put trust in Matt Ryan, which was
who would have
stupid.
thought Matt Ryan?
But
was
okay,
washed?
but they had a decent line. They had the best running back. I really was a fan of Michael Pittman, and I thought their defense is always middle of the pack. That was my dark horse, right? That was like my 500 to 1 pick. But
That's
I
fair.
really like Minnesota. But I still say Buffalo Bills defeat. Honestly, I could say San Francisco. I like San Francisco a lot too coming in this year. I think they have talent-wise one of the best rosters. Same thing with the Chargers, but the Chargers can never put it together. So I'll just go with my initial pick, Buffalo over Tampa Bay.
Okay, that's not bad.
But watch out for Minnesota.
Watch out for Minnesota. Okay.
That was it, man. That was my little bit of football that I wrote down.
Do you want to do your basketball and then we'll kind of?
Oh yeah, so basketball
Get outta
season
here.
starting. So it's just like a quick preview.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, it's like real easy. I had over under Mavericks 55 wins. Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming back.
Over.
That'd be great, dude. We're probably looking at a top 4 seed. For my finals preview, I had Golden State Warriors, boo, right, versus the Milwaukee Bucks, which wouldn't be that fun of a series because it's just like the same teams over and over.
Mhm.
My wild card pick though, right?
Yeah,
Dallas versus Philly.
that'd be cool.
I think the Mavericks are the biggest long shot out of that, but I think Philadelphia has a lot of talent and a lot of experience. Like Embiid's top 5 player. You know, he's playing like it. They got Harden. They got a year together with each other. Yeah, I'm not a big Harden fan, but when he wants to play, he's good. You just got to motivate him. My MVP, my favorite's got to be Luka. I mean, hometown guy, right?
That's what I'm picking.
He's our hometown kid. My dark horse though was Joel Embiid. My rookie of the year, Paolo Banchero, the guy who went number 1 at a Duke.
Yep.
And my dark horse is Keegan Murray, who went to the San Antonio Spurs. Coach of the year, last one. I'm very high on these guys. I made a bet with Alex that these guys will be like a top five seed in the West, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
I think they did enough to add to an already talented team of D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns, and then they added Rudy Gobert, and they just traded all their picks. But you know, it's like I'm a guy that's like, I'll trade you 3 picks in the next 5 years if I think my team's going to be good because
there's like 4 good players that come out of the draft every year.
Yeah,
right?
especially in basketball.
Yeah,
right?
in basketball,
If you don't have a top like 5 pick, you know you might as well be a second round pick.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, if I'm going to be giving you picks in the 20s, what the fuck do I care? So I think it's Chris Finch. I think Minnesota's going to be. That was my bet with Alex. I believe was they'll either be a top 5 seed or they'll make it to the second round. I made a bet with Alex like as soon as they made that Gobert trade. My dark horse pick for Coach of the Year would be our Jason Kidd because I fucking love the Mavericks.
Fair enough. Anything basketball you and Alex have to say? I trust you guys.
Yep, and we got our draft tonight. I'm picking 11th, so we'll see how it goes. I'll give you an update on that later.
Yeah, text me and let me know how it goes. All right, so going forward, let me do this. Let's get into what are we watching, what are we listening to. I'll go first. I've just been listening to Necronomicon.
Yeah.
I've been going through their catalog. Thank you for introducing me. It's like one of my favorite podcasts now.
Really
Other than that, you know, About Them Cowboys, Love of the Star, yeah, just Cowboys stuff. Haven't been watching anything really, just football. School's keeping my free time occupied. So yeah, that's me. That's what I've been watching and listening to.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yep.
Okay. Watching. With the rest of the world, I'm watching Dahmer on Netflix.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Everyone's watching that. Evan Peters, such a stud. Total babe.
Dreamboat.
Yeah. We started The Patient on Hulu. Well, it's an FX show, but they have it on Hulu, and that's where Steve Carell's that psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And his patient. Well, he got kidnapped by his patient, who's a serial killer. And dude, it's fucking slow. Which I think it's more authentic that way because it's not like he's just going out murking people. You're like learning the mind of them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like on episode 5, and I'd say it's just been slow. Like we haven't been keeping up with it a lot lately, but we'll probably still finish it because I love Steve Carell in these dramatic roles. I think he does a good job. This Fool on Hulu, which is really fucking funny. It's about a dude like living in South Central LA.
He starts like a yoga, or he's like rehabbing.
Yeah,
for,
it's like hugs not thugs.
Yeah,
he rehabilitates like gang members and prison guys, and it's fucking funny, dude. Like that show makes you crack up the whole time. So I would recommend that. And Claire and I, since Big Brother's over, we've been getting into Amazing Race. I like that show.
Some ex-BB alums on
yeah,
there, right?
Derek and Claire.
Yeah.
They're okay. But there's these 2 brothers that are military brothers, and then these 2 sisters that were identical twins that were separated at birth and just found each other last year.
That's
they have
cool.
really good chemistry, and they're working well. Those are my top 2 picks. And for movies, I've been watching the last like 2 weeks or less, like really like a week. I just started watching like old nostalgic movies. So I watched GoldenEye, the James Bond.
Yeah.
Like, that was so good. I love that movie. Nothing But Trouble, which is a movie I loved growing up, and I would always watch with Cody Wilson, who was my best friend from Lancaster. And it's a weird movie, man. Like anyone who wants to just watch a trailer, I wouldn't recommend. If you've seen it, it's probably not as good as you remember it, because I love this movie growing up, but it's really weird. And Christian Slater, classic Hard Rain with Morgan Freeman. It's like a heist movie. I don't know. It was really good. I've just been watching a lot of 90s movies. Listening to shitload of Necronomipod. This one called In the Land of Lies. So it tells the story of former Georgia police officer Michael Chappell, convicted of the 1993 robbery and brutal murder of Emergene Thompson and sentenced to life in prison. However, the most recent surfacing of new details, Chappell's story may have taken a dramatic turn, one that could potentially prove his innocence. You take a deep dive into Chappell's past and find an unbelievable truth behind a story that involves corrupt police officers, crime rings, drug trafficking, steroids, and murder. So that one I would highly recommend. I think it just finished up. It was like 10 episodes, so it's all available now. The other one's called The Sunshine Place. It was once called A Miracle on the Beach. Synanon began in 1960 as an experimental rehab facility in Santa Monica, California, with a radical claim it could cure heroin addiction. Before long, it would take an even bolder claim. It could cure any of your problems. All you had to do was move in. What started in a house on the beach soon spread to compounds across the country. The man who made the miracle happen, Charles E. Diedrich, a.k.a. Chuck, would be the one to destroy it all, along with the lives of many of his followers and millions of dollars in assets. The Sunshine Place tells the mind-blowing true story of Synanon, one of America's most cutting-edge social experiments, turning into the most dangerous and violent cults. And it has never been told before now, I guess. Anyways, that's what they wrote on there. The other one is the 1 year podcast I listened to. So they did, I think it was like 1975. And these are all just events that shape America, that place. Yeah. Like it was a big year, all these events. They just finished up 1986, which was really good. And next year is going to be 1945. So they just take like 8 stories. They're like an hour long, but it'll be like 8 or 9 stories from that 1 year that kind of defined that year, that helped shape America. And they just take a deep dive into these stories. Like nice. They had the Challenger, but it was more about the teachers that were chosen for that program to go on there and their whole experience. And then, we know what happened, but it was like behind the scenes with all the teachers, and they got to spend like the summer at NASA. It was called like the world's greatest field trip this season. The one about the miracle at some school was a wild episode. This guy was going to start a revolution, and he brought like this giant bomb to his school and had them all in there. And like none of the bomb went off, but like none of the kids died. Like it was fucking weird. But anyways, those are just a couple episodes from the 1986 ones that were really good.
That's the year I was born.
Hey, you're 86?
Yep.
I was born in 87. I thought, why are you like 2 years ahead of me in school, man? I guess because I was after the school year. You must have been before. Yeah, I was born in the fall. I think yours spring?
April, yeah.
I was going to say May. That was close. And I think that's about it, man.
All right. So before we get out of here, we want to preview our Halloween episode. We're going to do it. We're not going to...
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
We're not going to take 2 months in between episodes. We're going to do it come hook or crook. Even like if I have to call in or something, we're going to do it. So we're going to preview, or we're going to do a Halloween episode, just like we did last year. We're going to do a serial killer bracket.
Yeah, tournament-style bracket.
Tournament-style bracket. Have we just determined whether it's going to be 16, 32?
I was meant to declare, and I was like, I want to do maybe 32, and she thought I was crazy. She's like, you can't even think of 32 serial killers. I was like, oh, yeah, we could. Easily. We could do a 64-person bracket. Yeah. I mean, we could just take names. I would think minimum 16, maximum 64. 64 might be a little much.
I think 32 is probably the sweet spot.
Yeah, depending. And I was like, well, I'll do majority of the research, but if you want to come up with people too, so we'll just seed them, depending on how many we have, like 1 through 8 in each bracket, four regions or whatever. We'll do like Pacific Northwest, all that East Coast.
We'll do it. We're gonna do that, and then we may even bust out a movie review if I have time.
Yeah, I would think like if we can get some suggestions, because I don't know what we could do. I like the Ernest Scared Stupid. I mean, we could do like Hocus Pocus. Might be a little played out, but something like that. Something from our childhood.
Yeah.
Like one of the worst horror movies I remember seeing as a kid. I remember thinking like even when I was like 12 when I watched this was terrible. Was Halloween 3. That's the one where there's no Michael Myers. They like wear these masks, and I remember if I remember correctly, which this is 20 something years ago, but like they wear the mask. And then they watch like a TV program, and the TV program, like, I don't know if it hypnotizes you or puts you in a trance, but the program plus the mask makes like people crazy. And I just remember thinking this was such a terrible movie.
That sounds like it shouldn't have been made.
No, it shouldn't have, because you made a Halloween movie without Michael Myers.
Right.
We could also do like Critters. You remember those movies? My grandfather used to always make me watch Critters with him, and it scared the shit out of me. Critters, I think, would be funny. Gremlins, like something like that. Something we, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, suggestions would be nice.
We'll do another. Excuse me. We'll do another Halloween episode, and we'll get that out.
Might have a guest on. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see
hopefully,
how it works out.
We're trying for a guest. So yeah. Other than that, man, it was good to get back into it. Maybe other than our very first episode, this might be the shortest episode ever. We're at an hour and 20.
That's probably where a lot of people would want it to be.
Yeah, that's probably the
They probably look like a 3-hour episode. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, what are these idiots talking about?
We're going to listen to these dildos for 3 hours.
I think in the wheelhouse is hour and a half to 2.
Yeah.
For me, it's great. For you, too. But
yeah.
I picture people, if they want to, like, oh, I got a 30-minute drive to work. Like, it's because I like to just sit and listen to the whole thing. Or I like when I'm at work.
Yeah.
And the longer, I would say the longer the better, right? But
Hey-o.
But for me, I think hour and a half to 2 hours is where it should be. So it's just a little short.
Yeah. The one thing that does concern me about this new job is I don't know how much podcast time I'm going to get in, because at the previous job I had 8 hours.
You got just your drive to and from. That's about it.
Yeah. And so I don't know how much podcast time I'll get at work, but, I have, 40, we'll say an hour there, an hour back. So I got that, but, yeah,
always like when you're playing a game or something, turn something on.
Yeah,
I do that too. I listened to the Love of the Star last night when I was playing Med. Shout out to my Houston Oilers that I relocated back.
You showed me that screenshot. It's pretty cool.
I'd fucking destroy the Titans when I play the Titans. Fucking hate them. I lost the Super Bowl to the Cowboys, and it broke my heart. But it was a cool Texas Super Bowl.
That would be cool one day. Get back to the Super Bowl.
I immediately traded Deshaun Watson. I traded him to Miami so I could get my first round picks back, and then my team was dog shit, so I ended up with like 2 early first round picks.
Did you see, speaking of Deshaun Watson, another woman just came out?
Yep, lawsuit 26.
Yep.
So yeah, y'all can suspend Calvin Ridley for gambling for a fucking year, but Watson has 26 sexual assault allegations against him.
He got 8 games or 11 games or whatever
he got
it was.
I believe it was 11. He'll get to come back. What do you know? He's coming back for the Texans game.
Oh, is he really?
I'm pretty sure when he comes back.
They did that on purpose.
Exactly, because it was like, why would you do that? Do 10 or 12, like an even number? Like, no, it's 11, and he'll be back to play the Texans. I hope Davis Mills lights him the fuck up on that game, too, man.
Leave it to the NFL to always be thinking about ratings.
Oh, yeah. They were like, oh, this game's going to be huge.
Yeah.
People are going to watch this game for sure. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Guys, thanks for hanging in there with us. Andrew, it was fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again.
We'll be back.
All right, man. For Matt.
And I'm still Andrew.
We're out.
What's this dude? Short episode, man.
I think it was good, though.
I looked at my phone. It had 3 touchdown alerts.